Last time we were discussing what is the real problem, right? And we came to this understanding that the nature of this material world itself is of misery. And that's what Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita as well. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Right? Dukkhalayam means a place of misery, and ashashvatam means it is a temporary place. Even if you get some happiness, it will not sustain. So, yes, it is a place of misery, and we can also experience it in our own lives. That time to time we get into some or the other kind of trouble. So, Prabhupada is establishing a point here that, these day to day problems, like, meeting our ends, or, this maintenance, that maintenance, dropping, picking children, some small cough cold or some disease, this that, these are not the real problems. But the birth, death, old age, disease, we don't want all these things, but they are still happening. To ask this question, why this is happening, that is the real thing to ask. And these are the real problems. So we came to this understanding that these problems are associated with the birth in this temporary material world, because this is the nature of the place. So what is the solution of this problem? We discussed that if we don't come back to this material world, that is the solution to this problem. And yes, Prabhupada is giving that process, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself. Actually, Krishna thought to himself, how can I deliver the souls of this Kali Yuga, who are now so fallen that they are just fighting over trivial matters, and claiming the property, like we can see the war going on. And not, has not completely vanished right now, and this new calamity is coming, right? So looking at such circumstances which have been going on in this material world for histories together, Krishna wants to give a easy method of God realization. And that's why he comes in the form of a devotee, not a God himself, so that he can become an example to the people who are on this path of self realization, to give them an idea how an ideal devotee should be like, right? And there are different internal, his personal reasons as well, which we are not going to discuss right now. We will discuss them at some good time. But this was the main external reason, that he wanted to show the process of God realization, which is very easy, which does not have any hard and fast rules, and which does not require any extraneous efforts, but people are thinking these days that if something comes very easy, then it's not real. This materialistic civilization has put such kind of impressions on our psyche that we feel that, oh, it's so easy and free. Well, then they probably need people, so we will not go because it's of no value. But the thing which are most valuable to us, like power of speaking, power of walking, they come without cost, they come so easy. But we still value them because we need power of speaking, we need power of walking, we need water, we need air. But all those are freely available. That doesn't mean that I stop breathing, right? But the problem is the foolish civilization thinks that this is not important for me. And that's where Prabhupada discriminates intelligent and less intelligent people. You know, they are just thinking that, oh, self realization, that's not the priority for me right now. I mean, I'm running after money. I have to build my career and everything. I have to build a lot of money. But it's just like thinking that your gas is running out and still you want to drive the car. So that is a big problem. That is really, really less intelligent. So Those who are actually in knowledge see these four problems: birth, death, old age, and disease. Now, Krishna says, dhīras tatra muhyati. A sober man is not perplexed at the time of death. If you prepare yourself for death, why should you be perplexed? So, I remember some examples in our ancestors. You might have some also, that they were so pious souls sometimes that they knew that they are going to die in like 2 days or 3 days, or they gave a date that on this date I am going to, pass away. So make proper arrangements. So this kind of people were also there, and they were not at all afraid of death because they just predicted their death and they were prepared for it. And also Maharaj Parikshit, the main character of Srimad Bhagavatam, he is going to die in 7 days. And what business he is doing? If we know that we are going to die in 7 days, we will run around everywhere and making arrangements for our children, our husband, our family, everything. But what Parikshit Maharaj did, he handed over the whole kingdom, which was all over the Bharat Varsha. He handed it over to his son Janmejay, and he just put away his royal garments and also the royal jewelry. He put on the clothes of a mendicant and left everything right then and there. And he sat at the bank of Ganges just waiting for his death. And then Shukadev Goswami came there when he realized, he understood, because he was a great yogi. So he understood that Parikshit Maharaj is sitting there at the bank of Ganges and waiting for his death, because that curse was also very famous, that he will be beaten by a Takshaka snake, who is a flying snake. And this became very like a news, and like spread like wildfire. So many sadhus came from all over the world, immediately arrived there. Some by their yogic potencies quickly came there, and they understood that Shukadev Goswami is now going to say Bhagavatam to Srila Parikshit Maharaj. And in 7 days, whole day and night, continuously, this Bhagavatam was told to Parikshit Maharaj. And that's the importance of 7 days, that people in India have Bhagavat Saptahas, because that is the story that Parikshit Maharaj heard from Shukadev Goswami in 7 days. But we don't have that capacity to finish Bhagavatam in 7 days. But still, somehow people are keeping this Bhagavat Saptahas. I don't know, only main highlights they are doing or what. But see, they are not afraid of death. That is the important point. So, dhira, who is a dhira or a sober person who is not perplexed at the time of extreme calamity, that is the hour of death. That is a dhira person or a sober person, very composed, very uh, with a lot of gravity and with a lot of understanding of God's mercy in this situation as well. So that's what Prabhupada wants to give all of us, that we don't feel perplexed even at hour of such a extreme calamity, when our near ones are passing away or we ourselves are leaving our body. So Bhagavatam is showing us art of dying. There is a group art of living also, right? So for example, if in your childhood and boyhood you prepare yourself nicely, if you become educated, then you will get a nice job, a nice situation, and be happy. Similarly, if you prepare yourself in this life for going back home, back to Godhead, then where is your perplexity at the time of death, right? So sometimes people say that, what, spirituality at this age, this is not the right time, we will do it after retirement, right? But what point Prabhupada is making here, that it's not that easy to do it after retirement. How many old people are doing this process of self realization? You need practice for everything, just like you need practice education for getting a good job, you know So that's why Prabhupada is saying that if you will prepare, so what is our preparation? Our preparation is increasing our chanting, increasing our reading, and increasing hearing about Krishna, right? So there will not be any perplexity at the time of death. There is no perplexity. You will know, I am going to Krishna. I am going back home, back to Godhead. Means we will be so confident and we will be so much sheltered that there will be no fear, no insecurity at the last moment. We will be thinking about Krishna, and we will know that the people who we are leaving behind, they will also be taken care of by the God. Now I will not have to change material bodies. That's also a thought that will come. I will have my spiritual body. Now I shall play with Krishna and dance with Krishna and eat with Krishna, right? My son always says that it's no good that our school is starting, spring break is getting over, and I wanted to have more play dates and sleepovers. And I always remind him that Goloka is just like that. There are no worries of school, and they are always playing and enjoying, and eating nice prasadam with Krishna. And even in the evenings they don't want to come back home, and they come back home with their cows and calves, and then they are waiting to meet Krishna next morning. Even in the night they are thinking about Krishna, and even Krishna is thinking about all of his friends and the gopis. And that's how this love is going on in between them. There is no lust, there is pure love. And they are so immersed in happiness always. So that is how the Golok Vrindavan is. And Prabhupada really wants us to take there. This is a real thing, what he is trying to give us. People don't understand this. They feel that, oh, this is something, fictitious, or who has seen. Well, how will we see anything unless we give it a try? Or unless we realize it by ourselves that, okay, this process is making some impact in my life, right? And definitely it is going to increase if I will be sincere on this path. So this is Krishna consciousness, to prepare yourself for the next life. Sometimes a dying man cries out because, according to karma, those who are very sinful see horrible scenes at the time of death. So many people report, they are seeing ghosts, and they are seeing. My own grandfather, he started saying that I am seeing my friends. And he was talking about those friends who had already left their bodies, and he was very thick with them. He used to go for walks with them until very late age. So definitely he was very like kind of attached with them. So he was seeing them, he said, and just after few hours he passed away. So they are seeing different scenes. And some people see, well, he was seeing friends, so that's good thing. But at the same time not so good, because he was not seeing Krishna at that time. But some people see really horrible scenes, because if Yamadutas are coming to take them away, then really they see horrible things, really. It is all described in Canto 5 of Bhagavatam, that what all things they see. Also in Garuda Puran, that they see that some, whip lashes, whips are there, and Yamadutas have come, they are looking very horrifying and all those things. The sinful man knows he is going to accept some abominable type of body. But those who are pious, the devotees, die without any anxiety. Why? Because they have confidence in Krishna. They have confidence in bhakti. So their perspective has changed about this whole thing. So they are no more afraid of death. Foolish people say, you devotees are dying and the non devotees are also dying. So, what is the difference? There is a difference. So, Prabhupada explains this with a beautiful analogy. A cat catches her kitten in its mouth, and it also catches the mouse in its mouth, right? Superficially, we may see that the cat has caught both the mouse and kitten in the same way, right? Like devotee also die and non devotee also die. But what is the difference? What is the difference, Adish? Say loudly and quick. Yeah, so what is the difference in feeling of kitten and the mouse? The kitten feels safe and sheltered and no fear at all, and the mouse is very, very terrified and he's seeing death, right? So, for non devotees, Krishna comes like the cat who is holding mouse in his mouth, and for the devotees, Krishna comes like the cat who is holding kitten in his mouth. But there are difference of catching. The kitten is feeling pleasure. Oh, my mother is carrying me, and the mouse is feeling death. Oh, now I am going to die. This is the difference. So, although both devotees and non devotees die, there is a difference of feeling at the time of death, just like the kitten and the mouse. Don't think that both of them are dying in the same way. The bodily process may be the same, but the mental situation is different. And that is what Srila Prabhupada wants to give to all of us. He wants to make us fearless, just like he was, right? And that's why we just need to hold on to his path, hold on to this process, which is given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself. So, with good faith in this process, and we will be there with Krishna. So, that's where I will stop. If there is any comment or anything you would like to share.
Nothing from my side, Mataji.
Okay, it was very nice, no? How Prabhupada describes everything very wonderfully with analogies.
Yes,
Okay.
Mataji.